And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to Great Battles of the American Civil War with the fast approaching Battle of Murfreesboro. We've got everything loaded up. Pat's with me. Hi, Pat. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Gary. How you doing?
I'm all right. So I went to the post office on yesterday, which was Saturday, and I was shipping out some ASL boards to this guy in Italy. And it turns out that the kid that handles the post office, as far as I could tell, he's one manning it right now. It turns out is into board games, and he's aware of the local club, and he's telling me about how he's big into Zombie Side, and I'm like, oh, okay, I've heard of that, and he goes like, yeah, you know what? It takes up a lot of space, and I said, ugh.
Yeah.
Isn't that adorable? I wish I'd have had pictures of the wall of glory on my phone to show him. Say, look at this.
You're such a cutie pie.
Yeah, you're adorable. Can I pinch your cheek through your breathing mask? So I was amused by it. Let me put it that way. So anyway, so we are wrapping up turn one here. So after the activation segment, we are going to move the commanders.
So by the way, the first thing that we should do is anybody who's off-road doesn't need the extended markers anymore. So that's one thing that a little bird told me.
Okay.
Like you know what I mean?
Maybe Alan, I think.
Yes, so that'll clean things up.
All right,
which I kind of knew anyway, but we kind of were like saving, saving for time, if you know what I mean. I'll let you do yours first, your whole division, and then I have like a whole army with a bunch of, You only had a division under march orders. I had like a million guys under march orders.
Yes, exactly.
So, let's see. So that's that. All you cats are on a road.
Really, the only place in which march order is valuable is on the road. So.
Yeah. It's not necessarily. You cats are on a road, so you don't matter. And then you cats are on a road. Cats are on the road. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. We're very musical today.
Me too. I got up this morning and immediately turned the speakers on instead of headset, sitting in front of the computer while I was doing stuff. I had my massive 170 some song Yes playlist going.
That's a mega. Did you have what is it? Tales of Topographical Oceans on it?
It's on there. Everything up through 90215 is on there.
Yeah. I love that album, but yeah, if I was doing my Mega Yes playlist, I'd have one that I'd even stop the album before that with the Buggles guys. You know what I mean?
Big Generator, I think, was immediately before. Talking Big Generator, neither of those are particularly good albums, and I don't like Tornado either.
No, 90125. The one right before that, I think it's Tormata. Yeah,
it might have been Tormado.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
Stigler, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Same to you, Mr. Tweezers.
Yes. All right, so I've done that. Now we get to move our leaders, right?
Yeah. So this will be the commander movement phase. So this applies in this case, I think, to the wing commanders and the army commanders. So for me, it's just Crittenden at the moment.
What? So point out. So I see you've got like an 8, -1, and an 8, right?
Yeah.
So I know at the -1. What's the 8 is command range basically?
8 is command range, but it's command range in movement points, not in hexes.
So what does that let you do?
So if you're out of command, if a brigadier, for example, is out of command, then he gets one less activation marker. And if say a wing commander is out of command, then his whole wing gets one less activation marker.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, out of command of the
army leader.
Got it. All right. So I will handle this accordingly. So Bragg and Polk are hanging out together, which is probably not good for either of them, at the Cohen homestead. And let me move my Mr. Hardy. Who sighs to himself, and he will end up at. Let me count. So, really, the important thing is in movement points, the distance from Bragg. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. There's Hardy. Kind of keeping up the trail.
All right. I cleaned up the activation markers. They are all yours are all on the Confederate Order battle card. Your Order battle card.
So we're ready to go. So what else do we have to do for cleanup before we start turn 2? Anything else?
Okay, replacement recovery phase, where nothing really happens at this point. There is a combat effectiveness phase. Combat effectiveness phase. What do we do in the combat effectiveness phase? I'm drawing a blank on that. Hold on a second.
My guitar wants to kill your mama. I love that song. Frank Zappa it's always musically interesting.
It's always interesting to see Zappa interviewed too, actually.
Oh, did you see that little piece I sent you where he talked about what prog rock means?
Yes, I did. Very interesting. He's doing a very off the cuff informal definition, but it works for me.
I liked also where he just says like basically even some like prog rock definite and Matt, remember the time frame, right?
Yeah.
That he was giving that interview, but he's like sometimes.
Yeah. On most of those bands.
Right. Sometimes they're not,
Yeah, and I would not disagree with that, actually. All right, so the combat effectiveness phase is just we're checking to see if any brigades or divisions are combat ineffective, which is obviously not the case right now.
Correct.
So
yes.
we now move the turn record track up.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. I didn't notice this.
You didn't notice what?
That some of the reinforcements, not all of them, but some of the reinforcements are on the turn record track.
Yeah, they might, yeah. Well, you took care of it by hand.
Yeah, I took care of it by hand through turn 4. So I would have had to do that anyway, though.
And I'm not so sure I get Wharton this turn. Be nice, but I'm pretty sure all your Palmer reinforcements that they have there do come in at the given time. You know what that turn track needs? It needs a hide units.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's one of those vassal things where we're lucky to have it.
You'll eat your gruel and...
All right, so...
Well, I mentioned these things just because I know we have a certain listener to our stream that will take notes of these things. Actually, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, so we're on to turn 2, which is the 1300 turn of December 29th. So the first thing we're going to do is roll for initiative. I will get a +1 to this. All right, so that looks like Confederate initiative. So once you have determined...
Bragg's haranguing and berating has worked. Right, yes.
Yeah, so once we've determined what all the activation chits are going to be available, you'll retain one to choose to be the first chit that gets played in the turn. Okay?
Okay.
So the next thing we do is activation efficiency determination.
Okay.
I have got mine ready to go, so I am going to draw.
So let me double
2.
check. Okay. We'll talk about being out of command and whatnot later, I take it. So let's just, figure this out now. So, all right. So what I need to do is gather my efficiency markers, I take it, and...
Yeah, put them. All the ones that you had set aside. Let me pull all the Union ones out again.
Right.
And then you'll throw them in the Kepi.
Have you said Kepi this many times in your life until we start playing this?
No, I have not, actually.
I have not said Kepi this often.
Although, there was a guy at Compass Expo who was wearing a Kepi. So I did say it at least a couple times in his presence.
Okay. All right. Yes. Yeah. Even if somebody was wearing a Kepi, I don't know if I'd... All right. So I got my efficiency markers in there, and now I need... The way this works is I need one for each corps commander that's present, and one for each division. No, basically just the corps commanders, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, all right. So I'm curious, how does the army commander's value come into play in the game? Is it just an extra +1 for AMs and whatnot?
So some army commanders will have a +1 for like extra command value, and essentially that's one extra activation marker that they can distribute to whoever under their command.
Okay. All right, got it.
Up to the natural minimum of 1, maximum of 4.
All right, so I'm going to pull these right onto my
Yep.
AM sheet. Okay, so first comes you. Well, that was good news for you. Now there's you. So I did Polk. Here comes Hardy.
Oh, I got to pull another one, actually.
You need a Cav guy.
I got the Cav guy. What I didn't get was center wing.
All right, so I think I'm good. I've got both my corps commanders and I got my cavalry commander. I think that's all I need efficiency-wise. Yep, correct. Okay. So tell me if I'm wrong there.
You should be. So none of Smith's corps is on the map at this point. Is that correct?
No.
Then you got then you got it exactly right.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to dump all these back on my sheet. Get them out of. Evacuate the EMs. All right, I am ready to set up my order of battle, I say.
All right, very good. All right, so I need, and I'll show mine for the sake of the stream.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull up this AM and EM marker, okay? So what's coming in this turn? I need Fry, because Fry's coming in this turn. And then I need Wood. Why is there no activation marker for Wood? Even though I know there is, because I have him. Where the hell did he come from? There he is. He's on the top. They're not in alphabetical order. That's why.
There you go.
All right, so I'm pretty much good.
So I now go through my worksheet, and I look at these guys, and I get the corps commander, I apply the corps commander's modifier, and then that's how many AMs each guy gets, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, you add the corps or wing commander's command value, and then you modify, and that adds 1 activation if it's a +1, and -1 if it's a -1, and then you can apply the individual division leaders' values as well.
Right, got it. Okay, so that's... Oh, the clone function is so wonderful when doing the AM thing, isn't it?
It's pretty useful.
Yeah. Now,
All
if a
right.
division
And
commander's
remember,
out of,
retain one for whichever one you want to play first.
now if a division commander's out of command, then you take away 1 AM, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I guess I should point out. Let me look at yours, because Alan just mentioned this, and this is correct, and I just want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. So Hardy gets his command value is a +1. Okay, that doesn't mean +1 for everybody. That means +1 to any of his sub commands. So
Yes,
either Breckenridge can get a +1, Cleburne can get a +1, or McCown can get a +1.
I understand that completely.
Okay.
I love you, Alan, but I think Alan thinks I have an IQ of 60. So, yes, I understand how the order battle thing works. So, let's see. Flip. Doop. Doop. And club. And we also have to put orders for these cats too, if I recall correctly.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Okay.
Well, yeah, actually, we do need to do that.
Let me double check and make sure I have everything too sweet.
All right, I'm going to get this out of the way, and I'll move on to my orders because I'm ready to go. You've done all your activation marker stuff, correct?
I am
Okay,
just
very good.
double checking that I haven't screwed anything up. And I have not. Okay, and since I have initiative, I have one that I want to go first that I'm going to leave right there. And all my others I'm going to throw in the kepi. There you go. And we're ready to go.
All right, so go ahead and do your orders.
Okay.
Do you have reinforcements coming in this turn?
I believe I just have... It's telling me on the thing that I have the leader Wharton coming in, but I don't think I do. It's certainly not on my list of you can see my list of reinforcements, and they're all like optional. And this, you follow what I'm saying? But let's see if Wharton's. Let me look at that game turn track. Where the hell is it? All right. Yeah, it says Wharton 3 Cav. So let me now look at my order of battle. Do me a solid for a sec. Don't move the map for a second. Let me just get to one spot. Okay.
I am done touching everything for a minute. I had a decision to make whether I wanted to bring this turn's reinforcements, which is a whole division, in from the same place that Wood's division entered last turn, or if I wanted to bring them in down south.
Let me got to get real close. I think the game could benefit for you know the how it does like on Vassal where you get the hover function.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a way where it didn't rotate the hovering, you know, you could see them square on and bigger.
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
So maybe I do get Wharton. You can see my cavalry on the road over there, right?
Off to the east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all Pegram. Let me look at the actual order of battle counters. Wheeler Cavalry. Yeah, it looks like I get Wharton's regiment, but I didn't see that at all. In the reinforcements for the scenario. Let's just take a look. Like 3 cav. It's probably errata, is my guess. Because they are completely missing from this, and they are part of the Army's order of battle, if you follow me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why the hell Wharton wouldn't be there makes no sense. So... without getting an entry hex for them, being present in my battle book is what I'm saying. I'm just going to throw down and say they come in at where everything else comes in, which is the depot down by Murfreesboro.
Mm-hmm.
So let me place those guys there. So this means indeed I'm going to need, what do you call it? More stuff. Just get all his regiments real quick. Four. A lot of horse soldiers. Okay. So historically, if I recall correctly, the reason Wheeler starts off on that far right, I'm belaying my whole depot thing. So you see where Wheeler was on the road?
Yeah.
The reason he's over there is because they're coming off that northern hub, like 3901.
Right.
If you follow me, because they've been screening you.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's what they've been up doing. So I'm going to throw Wharton entering up there because it makes freaking historical sense. And they come in this turn. So with reinforcements, they're going to have to march on or ride on or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay. All right, right. So I'm going to stack them up kind of over off the edge by that hex, right?
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah, and then we'll take it from there. I was thinking that the Confederate cavalry looked a little thin, you know, as I did all the setups and went through all the stuff. My guess is what we're seeing here, this Wharton, is not in the battle book. It's probably in the errata for the battle book, which we didn't really look at, but that's all right, you know. Because it's seriously, for this scenario, no mention is made. There we go. You stack over there. That's that. I'm going to need a couple more AMs I got to throw in the caboodle.
Okay, that's fine.
Let me make them real quick. And AMs and EMs. No, I really don't, because Wheeler's a division. So what he got takes care of him. So we're good. No more AMs. Ready to go.
Okay, very good. All right, so reserve placement. I don't think there's any reserves. We remember that the incoming guys need orders as well. I am taken care of on that.
Let me do my orders. In fact, I got distracted. So that would be... Is that under markers?
There are markers for it, yes. But I'm using the right-click function on the Brigadiers.
Oh, very cool. So...
Remember, you don't need a marker if they're under advance orders. Advance is the default. You only need it if they're under march or attack.
Okay, let me take care of that. By the way, did fatigue go down at all at the end of the turn or this turn, or does that happen later?
Let me check that. I don't think it does. I think it goes down at the end of the day. I'll verify that while you're fiddling, though.
And how do you do the brigade leader orders thing?
Just right-click on the Brigadier. There's a thing called orders in the right-click context menu. Yeah, so pretty much they're in whatever fatigue level they're in until they go into reserve for a whole turn.
All right, so I'm looking. So take a look at like Chalmers there, who's facing off against you from the Round Forest.
Uh-huh.
I'm clicking on those leaders. I don't have an orders function.
Okay, highlight the unit and Control R.
Control R.
You are in as the Confederate player, right?
Maybe not. No, I am the Confederate player.
Okay.
But there does not seem to be the ability to do... I can't find it, and I just did Control R, and it gave me Squadouche.
Okay, well, use the markers then.
Yeah, all right.
We always considered it totally fine playing in person that you could put, as long as it's near the Brigadier, that's okay. It's usually not a problem, and it almost certainly won't be right now with everybody as spread out as they are.
Boom. I'm sorry I have so many orders to give. I got a lot of troops, man. I do like the handy dandy on the counter, the three flip. The three flip function is kind of neat.
Yeah. Oh, he said John Longshore is using profanity in the chat now.
John Longshore is going to find himself banned real soon.
We do not mention that unholy, over-engineered German acronym.
I love John Longshore, but he shows up and he curses. He wants to talk politics. It's like, John, next thing you know, he's going to be playing like Rolling Stones songs, somehow getting that in there, so we go to YouTube jail. Oh. Clone. Yeah, that's right, John Longshore. I'm talking about you.
I actually had another video flagged by the YouTube devilry, but it was some old video game video, and I didn't care. So, although I was tempted to, just out of spite, to pull that entire series of videos down.
It would always bother the crap out of me because I would need to know what the hell it was. Like that would just. You know what I mean? It would just...
Yeah, I don't even know. It wasn't... It's not worth... It's not like a It's not like a DMCA flag, so I don't care. It just means I can't monetize that video, and I don't care.
Come on down here, sunshine. All right, there you go. These are what I call, as I look at these. I was telling Alan the other day.
Now, any problems with the module, we're blaming Alan. Just FYI.
Well, I'll probably blame Alan for anything. No, I'm just kidding, Alan. But the one of the things I've noticed is the disposition. These Confederate divisions, right? These rebel divisions at this point in time are what I call fatty divisions, right? So there's a lot of square brigades, and then the brigades themselves are very big. It really just struck me in playing this much more so than later, like in Chickamauga. You know, this is a very, very strong, beefy army. Back out. Clone this. Clone. I have given all my orders. I am relatively confident that I have. So, we may continue, sir.
All right, very good. All right, so you did reserve your first activation marker, correct?
Yes, I did.
All right, so unless you're putting reserves down somewhere, and I imagine that you're not right now.
I am not.
Then we are ready to go to the activation phase.
Do some drawing. Okay.
Yeah, so your first one will be whatever first one you picked.
Here we go. Flip. It is Withers.
Where is Withers?
Withers is by the round forest there, sir.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I like where those guys are, but these are the guys I need to be doing some activations with. So, and there's that whole thing of being under attack makes you able to defend.
We were able to defend under advance orders, too.
Right.
March orders, on the other hand, your pants down, pretty much.
Right. Oh, wrong way.
Going through the order of battle, there are a couple potential points of confusion. For example, there's two Beatties. There's a Sam Beatty and a John Beatty. And there's two Stanleys. There's a Thomas R. Stanley, who's under Negley, and then there's Stanley, the cavalry commander. That's just in the Union OOB.
Right.
We do have what I take to be Colonel Starkweather, however.
Adam Starkweather? Charlie Starkweather?
I don't think he's that old.
Okay. Ooh. All right. And let's see. Are these guys where I want them? Pretty much. I need to flip these guys around now. Okay, so Barrett's brigade moved under that pretty.
There is a activation marker correction that I forgot to make.
You go do that.
But it's not. No, it's. I'm not taking this Kepi apart. It's not a big deal. Just if Sheridan comes up, it is actually Stanley.
Hold on a second. got to get some. Got to take care of a little facing here.
As long as I fix it for next turn, it's fine. Or I guess as long as that is Phil Sheridan, by the way.
Who's Phil Sheridan? Huh? What?
He's coming in at some point.
Okay. That is that. We have. Let me make sure I didn't. Yep. So as you see, what we basically did is we moved another brigade into the forest there. It popping off range of view, and kind of getting our defensive position put there. So that's what we did with that chit. That's why we did that with the initiative. We saw that as most important.
Okay.
So let us now go to the next chit.
Okay. I'll draw it. Looks like it's one of mine. It is wood. All right, so wood's got a few things to do here. Zoom in a little bit. We are going to. We'll activate Harker's division or Harker's brigade first.
Okay.
Because we're going to try and reposition a little bit here. So we're going to rotate for 1. Actually, I don't need to rotate for 1. I can rotate for free.
Wood's brigades are doing the whoa. Yeah. Let's back up a little bit.
All right, and then that's 2, 4, 6. One, 3, 5. Rotate first.
So what we have happening here is we've got a, it's only the 29th at noon, and we've got a division of each army kind of facing off here in the center of the top 2 maps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either one really wants to launch a massive assault or anything.
Not with one division, no. Hell no.
No. But we've got, like, 2 sides presenting unfriendliness to each other. How's that?
Yes.
I'll deal with the chat while you're doing your thing. Oh, it's not your fault, Alan. The what I'm saying is it's obvious, like the battle book has some omissions in reinforcements and setup and stuff. It's not a big deal.
I do wish there were setup cards for these games, frankly.
Yeah.
The Gettysburg one, the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. Alan, by the way, I'll extend this offer, which has been extended, because I don't imagine this would overlap. Should you get wind of a project to redo the first 3 games of the series in one big box, please let me know, and I will prepare setup cards for those games. If even if they can't be fit into the box, they would be a very welcome addition to like a free online.
Yeah, I get the feeling with that I'm looking at Dead of Winter, right? And the game was published in 2009, right? And so a lot of people weren't doing setup cards.
Oh yeah, Vance Von Voorhees has historically always been awesome at doing setup cards for his games.
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3.
That is true.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That works. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That works. I don't need to go more than 1 per hex here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on Harker's division at this point.
I would say, Alan, that the bulk of the Confederate army is still in march. And Alan, he is indeed changing his entire facing of everybody right now that he's not under march, which you should, to the proper thing. You're micromanaging. Need to back off, man. Love you. Back. We got this. Let us play. That was like from a Catholic mass. Let us pray. Let us play. There you go. I went religion there for a second.
Oh, jeez.
Just
Now we're in trouble.
Oh, Jesus.
Unfortunately, I will say that. I got some fires too. I will say that I am slightly annoyed by the control comma and control period to do the rotation because I cannot do that with one hand. All right, so we're going to fire in order here. We're going to fire a 8th Indiana battery against the stack that Chalmers is on top of.
Okay.
That is in the woods, right? It is in the woods. So woods
Yes.
is worth something on the defense. Woods, that's regular woods, not cedars, which does make a difference. It's -1 for fire. So we have here is 1, 2, and I should have done this when I did the brigade activations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Now remember,
8, 9, 10,
my artillery's
11.
on top.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
All right, so let's pull up the weaponry table. These are 6-pound smooth bores. Looks like we're at, how many hexes did I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is going to be at -1. So I'm at a -2 here. It's 6 factors of artillery at -2. All right, so let's walk ourselves through the DRMs. Massed target. You have more than 8 points of infantry in there.
More than 8
Yeah.
points of more than 8 or 8.
More 8 plus. Looks like
I have 8.
you do. All right. So that's worth a +1. So we're at net -1 at this time. Flanking fire does not apply. Prepared fire does not apply. Breastworks does not apply. Artillery firing at lower level target. They are on the same level, so no. Mounted cavalry, no. Disordered, no. Artillery moved, no. Green infantry, no. Dispersed target, which definitely does not apply, and it's not night fire. So that is everything. So we're at a net -1. So let's see what we get. 0. Okay, so that was nothing. All right, so same deal though, except that the next shot is with the 6th Ohio battery, which is 6 factors of 10, 12-pound howitzers, which also is at a -1. So it's the same deal. So net -1 on the roll. But that's a 9. So that's a net 7. And we're going to get a D +2.
Okay.
So you're going to roll the unit's cohesion rating and add
every
+2
unit in
roll.
the hex or the guy on top.
Just the guy on top. Let me verify that. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's just the guy on top, though.
Okay. All right.
But let
Let's go
me
pretty
verify that.
The only thing that makes me say that is you're tempted to think otherwise because of the modifier for 8 units in the hex.
Yeah.
But that just might mean it's compressed. You know, it's just a more condensed hex.
Hold on one second.
The cohesion number is the number...
In the colored box.
Right, okay.
So if you take step losses from it, I can tell you that you are not... Well, that's not going to happen anyway. Step losses would only apply to the top unit.
Right. It's just the top unit. That's what I'm starting about.
Yeah, it's just the top unit. So it'll just be that artillery.
So D10 plus 2. Got to be under a 7, correct?
Correct. Seven or less. All right, so he's cool.
That'll do it.
All right, so I have one more shot. Let's use this line of sight tool and see if it works. It's 10. Okay. It's the same thing. Those are P10s. Those are Parrot 10s, actually, which are not at a 0, which means this last roll is at a net 0 to the roll. So let's see what that turns into.
What's your strength?
All right, so that's a 5. That is 6 factors of Parrot 10s. So with a 5, that is a D. It's a D.
Straight D.
Little D, yeah, little D.
Are you low ammunition?
Yes. Well, okay, so let's actually mark that. Yes, that will be a low ammunition for this guy. Do we have markers for that? All right, hold on.
We do not have low ammo markers.
I don't see him either. Alan. All right, so.
Again. All right, so. You know, I use one of the stupid deployment markers.
I just noted it down. I'll figure it out.
All right.
I'm not sure that the first...
I passed it by 1. Did my check. We're good. 6.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And lastly, Alan does have 1 point in his freaking... You got some guys over there in the division, like this guy.
Yeah.
Now that you're not under march orders, you need to choose a facing. Like that guy.
I think that was the only guy that I didn't have to move. That's why he didn't change.
Yeah.
All right, so that's cool. And actually, I got to put Harker somewhere too. Like that's not standing out in the front, in the open.
yeah.
All right.
Like,
so
whoa!
Alan pointed out that for small arms fire, it is only the top unit. For artillery, it is the whole stack. But we're not going back and doing it. So because we
never do.
Point.
So,
well, you can't. I mean, it's just, you can't back up like that.
I'm going to reiterate, since we got a lot of new people in the chat, guys, we're going to do our best we can with the rules. Please don't point out little rule stuff, because we're never going to go back and do stuff. You can't play that way. So I'll just throw that out there for everybody, since we got a lot of new people watching.
Yeah, we can't go back and fix stuff. So
nope.
Your input is very welcome, but we can't go back and fix stuff. So bear that in mind. All right, so. All right, so with that in mind,
we draw another chit.
Yeah, draw another chit.
I like pulling chits
down here.
I like pulling chits. All right, here we go. 'Tis Confederate.
McCone.
But McCone. Oh, I got another McCone. But McCone is under march orders, so that doesn't matter. So throw that here, and I will pull again. You pull. You pull this time.
Wheeler.
Wheeler's
probably not under march orders, is that right? Looks like it.
No, they're under advance. So let's gotta pick me a division here, don't I? Or a brigade, I should say. I think it's time to bring on the newly arrived Wharton.
Okay.
And what's normal movement on a road for Cav?
So that is a regular road, so it's just 1, unless you're in March.
big. Where do I want him to go? Yeah, it looks like. Here come the riders. I do love
I
this
may
comic.
always picture Joe Wheeler as portrayed by Gary Busey from now on, just so you know.
What movie was he in? When was he
The Rough
portrayed by Gary
Riders.
Busey? Oh, God. Well, a guy thinking he's charging Yankees at age, you know what I'm saying. That's probably a good Busey. Good use of Busey.
It's just such an absurd casting choice, actually.
Well, it's flipping.
On the other hand, yeah, maybe it isn't, right? Because
you want him to play. You know, is it he's playing a crazy person, right? I'm good.
Yeah,
with
but
that.
he comes off. Gary Busey's going to come off as more crazy than bold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, what you need is Wheeler in the Spanish-American War. You need bold and also doddering. Bold and like not knowing what's happening. This is the man who said, come on, boys, we've got the Yankees on the run. All right? I mean, that happened as they charged the Spanish. So now, I guess now I'll give him credit. If you probably said, come on, boys, you got the Yankees on the run, like those words, like, what, 1,000 times,
Yeah.
whenever, and you were always hearing gunfire,
right?
Okay, when you said it, that might have. All right, so speaking of, Wharton is on the map. All right, so I will pull the next one. Wharton is in the building. So
I found the ammo depletion, by the way.
you did?
Yeah,
Excellent.
It's in the right-click context menu under firing.
Speaking of Wheeler Cavalry, guess what we have happening again?
Wheeler again?
Yep. And
what's his rating? Is he a +1?
Oh, he's pretty freaking good. Wheeler is a...
He's a -1.
He's a -1. Oh, I might have screwed that up. This is my last Wheeler activation.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. I read it wrong. I read it as a +1 when I did it. So we're gonna activate
There's definitely a learning curve when you're starting to play with a new vassal module, Did you say Pegram?
Yeah, it's all these guys down here. See him moving? Boop.
No.
Yeah.
You're doing Wheeler.
Yeah.
Pegram. Yeah, gotcha.
Right. Pegram's the other brigade that's present. I kind of like the rating they gave Wheeler here. He's great. It's kind of like the Forest thing. Better than independent command than.
Well, I mean, plus, you're not trying to rate in a game like this, right? It's a tactical battle or grand tactical, if you want. You're not rating Wheeler on the basis of his entire, or you shouldn't be rating Wheeler on the basis of his entire career. You should be rating him on the basis of how he performed in this particular engagement.
And you can look a little bit before and a little bit after,
right? And that's fine.
Right, to see if someone was having a bad day. But that's just the thing. Wheeler was really great at going on rides.
Mm-hmm.
And rating. He wasn't so great at battlefield command historically. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys were and some weren't. Wheeler was not one of them. All right, so that's it. That's my second Wheeler.
All right, I'll draw one.
We'll ignore the next Wheeler. Go ahead. or any other wheelers. Let's put it that way.
Oh, damn it.
What are you doing over there?
There we go. All right, we got a Union one here. It is wood again.
Okay.
Wood will activate again. So he's going to activate all 3 brigades again.
Okay.
Let's activate Haskell's brigade first. So we're going to take that same shot at Chalmers and the stack he's in. It's a net -2, I think or a net -1 is what we ended up deciding.
Okay.
And where's the CRT? And it's six factors of 10-pound or 6-pound smoothbores. So that's a big nothing. All right.
Okay.
The rest of that brigade is fine where it is. The next one we're doing is Harker's brigade. So we're going to take that shot with the 6th Ohio. This is a net -1 to the roll.
Right.
Let me double check that. That's these are Parrot 10s? These are Parrot 10s. That's actually a net 0. Parrot 10s do not take the penalty for 8 to 12 hexes that the howitzers do. So that's a 9. That's 6 factors at a 9. That's a big D. So big D is the entire stack is disordered.
Okay, so I flip it, correct?
Yeah, flip all 3 of them. Not Chalmers though. He doesn't. If you flip him, his backside is his replacement. I think we talked about that in the warm-up game.
There we go.
All right. So that's something. All right. Anything else from that unit? I don't think so.
Just realized I cheated myself out of an artillery fire with that first Withers Chit, but that's okay.
All right. 10th Indiana Battery is going to fire as part of Wagner's brigade. This is going to be a net -1 because of the low ammo.
And who are you shooting at again?
Same stack, Chalmers. So that's a 6. It goes down to a 5. Is that 5 a natural 5? I think it's got to be a natural 5. That's That's a little D. So everybody in there makes a roll. You can add Chalmers stars to that, or subtract Chalmers stars from that roll, though.
Okay.
So you get a -1 to the roll for Chalmers being in the hex.
Chalmers got 1 star. So all right, let's go with these guys. So bottom guy failed.
Okay, so the bottom guy's going to take a 2nd disorder. Let's see. Lose 1 SP and retreat 1 to 2 hexes.
Where are the strength markers?
They are under. They're under markers. They're strength points.
Shift F. See, that's a function at like more than the little morale. I'd love it if the numbers went up and down actually on the counter.
That would be cool.
Like for losses, and that's easily done. Then you'd have less facing stuff. Like now I got to do facing for the.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna OCD your ass off if I see counters that aren't rotated correctly underneath other counters.
No, I know. No, it bothers the shit out of me. All right, so then the next guy is so -1 passes, and the artillery passes. Okay. Everybody's fine.
Okay.
Are you done shooting?
I am done shooting, but I'm not done with the brigade.
You go right ahead.
Now I'm done with the brigade.
Okay.
So let's draw another one. Your turn to draw.
Move you back there, Wood. Whoop.
Withers.
Withers. All right. So, and how do we undisorganize? That's just at the end of the turn, right?
That's a rally action. And it's an action, so you can actually do it.
Chalmers is gonna rally.
All right, let's see how that works, because that is not something we've done before. So let's 33. Hold on. All right. All right. Disordered units may be rallied as a part of an ammo resupply and rally action. To rally a disordered unit, roll the die, adjusting as described. All right, so you're rolling under its disordered cohesion rate. Now, it's an activation for the entire brigade, right? So this would be that brigade's second activation. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so here
are there conditions here? Hold on.
Equal to or less than the cohesion rating. All right. So
the disordered cohesion rating, though.
The unit ours is okay. So the guys, 2 of them are actually with the leader, so they're going to get a -1 to the roll. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And then the guys behind get no such bonus because they retreated backward. So we ready for this? So the cohesion rating. So basically, we'll start with the guy that's 1 back. He needs a 5 or less. He got it. He flips. And then we'll roll for the other infantry and then the battery. So the other infantry. Yes.
What is it? Oh, he made it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they get a -1 because Chalmers there.
Okay.
Flip. And then...
Now, if you roll double your disordered cohesion rating, then you lose a strength point.
Yeah,
and it stays disordered. Which is hard to do.
I would have to roll a 10 right now.
Okay.
So, and I get a -1 anyway, so there's really no chance of me even doing that. So, I'm sorry, a 0-0. So you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, zeros are zeros, so they're not tens. So you can't roll a 10.
And I got 5. So here we go. Last comes the artillery. He fails. Okay. So that's that. And now with Bowen. Bowen's got some arty. And Bowen has it's called an L.
That's the 6-pound smoothbore.
6-pound smoothbore. So it looks to me like the closest shot I got is 4 hexes. So let's see what that.
That's a 0 on a 6-pound smoothbore.
Right.
So there's no difference between 4 and 7 hexes for that particular ordnance piece.
So let's look around. Are any of them units green?
Not any of those units, no.
How can you tell if a unit's green?
There's a G. Oh, actually, I'm lying. See that 65th Ohio? Its cohesion rating is a G6. He's green.
We're shooting at them.
Okay.
So let's see. So it's a 0 and then -1 because you're in woods. Anything else?
No.
Okay, here we go. So I'm a 4. Shooting on. I'm on the 4 table with a -1. Here we go. 5.
All right. So on a 4 table with a 5 is a
It's a D.
Little D. All right. So hold on. Okay. Now they don't take a penalty on this, but they're a 6. So little D. Let's see what happens. 6. They made it.
Okay. That is it for Withers, Withers people not under march orders.
Okay. So my turn to draw a chit. It's another Confederate Breckenridge.
Breckenridge.
Is this John C. Breckenridge?
Breckenridge is, yes, is marching. So that does not apply. I will pull the next one.
Cleburne.
Cleburne's marching. Did not apply. You go ahead.
Cleburne.
Marching. I got this one. Up, up, up,
We
up.
both pulled.
I was next.
All right, that's fine. Go ahead and draw again.
Flip. Fight you.
Breckenridge.
Breckenridge. Marching. You.
Wheeler.
Wheeler does not count.
Okay.
Me. Flip. McCown. McCown is marching. Over to you.
Sheridan. That's actually Minty's cavalry at this point. So they're going to activate.
Are they cavalry or mounted infantry?
These guys are actual cavalry. There are some mounted infantry floating around. Also, you could dismount the cavalry, okay, and fight them as infantry. They're not usually very good. If you do that, you'll actually replace the mounted counter with a dismounted counter.
Got it.
All right, so 1, 2, 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, that's Minty is done. Was that my draw or your draw?
That was. There is, oh, by the way, for ammo depletion, if you go to firing on a unit, it's one of the firing options. As a right click.
Yeah, we found that. I already said that.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah,
right.
it's under fire. That's just where I wasn't seeing it.
Gotcha. So there go with Minty. Going to find me. All right. So I believe it is my draw.
You go ahead.
Draw. I will draw.
Fry. All right, these are reinforcements. So this might take a couple minutes because there's quite a bit.
You go ahead. Oh, it's cavalry? Go ahead, sir.
It's not cavalry, actually. It's mounted infantry, except they're not mounted. They're coming in as infantry.
Okay. Oh, all those guys,
they're all. If you mouse over these stacks, you'll see that.
Steedman. Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll bring Walker. Oh, shoot. And these guys are not under march orders, so I'm just going to run them out, and we'll then I'll trail them all out behind him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I'll use the restroom. I'll be back like 5-10.
1,
while you're
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 7, 8. So this won't take me that long to do, but all right. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, what's the that stream is +1 to cross. I don't think we actually want to do that. I can't even bring them all in. Now you notice I didn't bring them in under march orders because I put my march chit in the cup. I didn't bring them in under march orders because we're really pretty close here, right? This is only a turn or so away from what is developing into a front line. So it probably would have been smarter to do them as march, but at least this way there's no chance they're going to get caught with their pants down. So I think we're going to do... All right. That's what that looks like. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's impossible to read. Yeah, we're not using that. Yeah, it looks like Pat remembered to put his March activation marker in the cup as well. It is all good. Throw a little tweet out since we're waiting anyway. Pardon or slight rain delay.
Next jig.
All right. Yep. I'm all set up here. As you can see, I'm a bit stacked up on the road.
That will happen.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's your pull, I believe.
Oh, okay. It's Fry again. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Boy, that pike, you can boogie on that pike, can't you?
Uh huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, not really. I'm not under march orders.
Oh, it should have been under march orders.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. Well, I mean, we're awfully close to the battle area at this point.
Yeah, I think I think you did the right thing.
All right, that's Fry. It's your draw.
It is my draw. Confederate.
Joe
It is Wheeler. Does not count. All right, your draw. Your turn. Ah, another blue.
Fry again. All right, we're gonna march them too. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's keep this guy behind a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Boogieing to the area of contact.
That's pretty much the plan. Yeah. I got to pay attention to that, but we should be okay.
Are you done?
And these guys, I am done, except I need to mark fatigue.
Yeah, you do. Indeed. That is your third activation.
Okay. Now I'm done.
All right. So I shall draw. No, you draw. It's your turn.
There is your march chit.
Most excellent. So, boy, I got a lot of marching to do. All right, we shall start with Claiborne. Whatever. This is Polk's Brigade. 2 Polks on the map just to confuse everybody.
Who's the other one?
The General Polk.
Well, right. That's Leonidas K. Polk.
Leonidas K. This Polk's a Brigade Polk.
Okay.
The beautiful thing is once you're actually formed for march, it becomes a very, and everybody's on a road.
Yeah.
It becomes a very easy exercise. Boop. Boop.
This sounds like a great opportunity for me to go use the little boy's room, so I'll be right back. You've got quite a bit in March, so it is going to take you a couple minutes.
Yes. Come on, boys. Start facing. Waltz for me. And we are going to go a second time. And we are going to go a third time. Dance for me, boys. Take your fatigue, sir.
All right, I'm back.
That's good to know. Hmm. Two Hardy. 2-3 Hardy. Where the hell's the rest of 2-2 Hardy? Way over there. Okay. It's 1. One. Dance, boys. Okay. And then you guys are gonna go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dance, boys. One, all right. Dance, boys.
I actually generally don't like John Longshore. I generally don't like to drink while gaming. I'd rather not.
You and I are peas in a pod on that one. I like to drink, and
I
I have.
have some drunk D&D stories. I mean, but I don't think it's generally a great idea.
Yeah, that's just kind of where I am with it. And these are all very personal stories, right? So I used to play at a gaming group in my 20s, right? And there was this one guy who was there, and he was like smoking bowls and drinking beer like the whole time, and it's
Oh,
cool, right?
oh.
Right. But he would make like bad decisions,
Right,
or like wouldn't respond when it was time to respond, all that kind of nonsense, right?
right,
And that was just kind of my deal with it was like I'm playing this game because I want to be like make strategic decisions and whatnot, right? I'm not
right,
beer, it's not a beer and pretzels, right?
right,
So by definition, right? So why would I want a beer? I'm gonna
right.
get buzzed. I'm not gonna that's just kind of my take on
I
it,
could
right?
see it in a role playing context if somebody needs to if somebody who's like naturally socially got like a social anxiety or something like that and needs a drink to loosen up. But
Sure.
today is not that day. So
Right, indeed. So it's yeah, we can step off. Yeah. And these guys are gonna go. Move one.
just happy work's not calling me today.
Yeah, it's freaking Sunday, man.
We got a call at
Man.
about 3:30 in the morning last night.
Second activation points. Next. them. I'm being fairly efficient with my mega march order here.
Okay.
I think I'm moving somewhat quickly.
It's all good.
So I'll delete all these. Bye-bye march orders. And then, all right. More. 6. And then we'll do a second activation. Get us there. Dance, boys, dance. I love making them all waltz. It makes me giggle every time. When you have a bunch grabbed and you just change all the facings,
Oh, yep. That actually, I did that with the guys marching down the road.
it's quite amusing.
Didn't even have to change facings much, actually.
God.
Just checking up on a couple of small rules items while
3,
you're going here.
4, 6. Yeah. We shall bring you all behind.
And also putting bookmarks in the PDF of the rules while I'm going.
Boy, with all the scolding Bragg was given Hardy's really mad at him. Hardy's working his ass off to basically Bragg's saying you had your stuff all disposed wrong, you bozo. And what's really happened is Bragg's changed his mind after saying he wanted stuff in a certain place to begin with. So Hardy's getting more and more. Hardy's thinking about writing up his transfer orders.
All these guys would be very happy to be reporting to somebody other than Bragg.
This is correct. Did you listen to that video? I thought what was fascinating was the idiotic move really after this battle where he then asked everybody to evaluate him. So it's almost like asking for trouble. Like you go to, he says after this battle, he says, I want you all to tell me what you think of me, so he can spot enemies.
It may be that was a politically savvy move.
No, but what? Yeah, but what he did was like then go, aha, you're opposed to me. That sort of bullshit. So let's see. We're gonna do a second one. 4. clone.
Alan, I did find the ammo depletion tag. Just wasn't in the top level of the menu. You got to drill down a little bit to get to it.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it, and you could probably get away with just a right-click function of add SP marker, and then it would throw it under it at its face. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea, actually. I did at one point start working on a Vassal module, but my understanding of how it works on the back end is extremely limited because I never got past the graphics. I never got through the graphics. Let me put it that way, because it was the kind of thing where I actually found that it was easier to make new counters than it was to try and work with the existing scans that I had of the physical counters. So, giant pain in the shorts, in other words.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I still know squat about doing it directly, but I've been very exposed to the art of the possible via participating with Francisco. And having that thing built.
Yeah.
Can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do this? Can we do that? Which, I mean, that's what I found to be the best for like a new game, like that I want to have a good module for.
Mm-hmm.
Hire somebody who makes good modules. And the key word there is hire. I think Vassal module designers, should be built into the development process and pay somebody like, some real money for it. I'm not talking crazy money, but money nonetheless. All right. So
I think the folks that work on these things in general, whether it's the designers or the developers or the people that make the Vassal modules or the people that do the graphics or the people that do the box layout or whatever, should make a decent living at it. And that is simply never, in no case is that the case, as far as I'm aware. The only people that are maybe making a living at it are the people who own the companies. Maybe.
Right. What they usually do is say, here's a free copy of the game, right?
Right. Or, whatever. Right. Exactly.
And that's not proper remuneration for a high-functioning, high-quality Vassal. It's just not.
No. I mean, lots of folks aren't doing it full-time either, but that's part of the problem, right? Is if we had instead of, I'm completely spitballing numbers here, and I'm using Vassal module development as only one of several possible examples. If we had, instead of 50 different people that do Vassal modules for various games, for various companies, instead of that, in their spare time, right, in all cases, as far as I know, it is a spare time activity. If instead we had 5 that did it full time and got paid for it, and got paid a decent, amount of money for it, so that they could make it into a job, then I think it'd be a pretty different landscape.
Right. Well, that's what, like I said. So
now that
everybody's different, right? So what I did, I made the conscious decision for a hot dry season that I wanted a high functionality Vassal module,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted, darn near everything in it, right? Yeah, because as you know, I feel strongly about Vassal. So I was like, well, I'll put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah, and I don't want to, I'm not trying to belittle the contributions of those folks who have made Vassal modules.
Right.
In fact, I am saying the opposite. I'm saying I feel that their efforts are worth more than whatever remuneration they may have gotten out of it.
Agree with you completely.
And, unless they got paid, and probably even if they got paid.
Right. So I know Francisco Colomares, who did the the Empire of the Sun module, which is a fantastic Vassal module.
It is an amazingly good Vassal module.
Right. And I paid him blah dollars, and let's just say it's probably 3 times the copy of the new game, right? So real money,
Right.
Not crazy money. And what that let me do was say, hey, can I have this in alpha testing? Can we then change it to the beta? Then can we import the final art? And as we're going, can we change this functionality to that? Can we make it? Because, we live in a world, I'll go a little Heinlein with you here. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if my payment is free or like a free game, then I also can't go back and get it the way I want it, right? In development, right? I kind of feel this obligation to just like whatever I get, I'll eat my gruel and be happy with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want that, So all right, so that's that. Let me make sure. I think I don't have any more marches after all my massive marching. Let me just go real big on the map now and make sure I didn't leave anybody behind. No, they moved. They moved. I'm gonna go real big. Like fit width. All right. They moved. Everybody's marched. All right. Let me delete some of these march order things that are just hanging around. Delete. If I see any other randoms, I'll delete them later. So that's it for the Mega Confederate March.
Okay.
It is my pull, I believe.
Okay.
What we get is Union, and I bet you it's flip. It's wood.
It's wood. All right, so it's decision time. Clearly, there's another wood here. Clearly, some Confederates are moving to try and flank this Union position, so I feel like I am obliged to do an activation with at least one of these brigades.
Okay.
So we're going to activate Haskell's brigade. I think we're just going to do it.
John Longshore.
1, 2.
Yeah. His strategies were actually totally okay, but things went sour because of a toxic command. There's an interesting video I'll share that's on C-SPAN that makes that argument. You saw it, Gary, and I kind of agree with what the guy said, that his strategic conceptions were good, and his reasons for even wanting to like fall back on Tullahoma afterwards were backed up by his command, like Johnson. Everybody thought it was the right move, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was he had a toxic command. Yeah, that's really his issue. So his conceptions of what he did here, and that's why, to some extent, I find Bragg an interesting character, right? I think the strategic discussion as well in that presentation where they talked about, the attack was a good move, and if he had, there are some historians who cheese out and say, oh, Bragg, buffoon Bragg, like, so if he didn't have Stevenson's division, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And that guy said, no, I don't, really think that's the case. But the, there you go. It's very, the real problem is he's toxic. So after Murfreesboro, where they really gave the, the Union Army a run for its money here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then pulled out. They were spent. They couldn't make he just didn't have enough troops to make the attack happen. And then there were reports that Rosecrans was going to get reinforcements that he didn't, so he pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then he pulls all the commanders, the division and the corps commanders, and says, hey, I want your opinion about what you think of me. What do you think of me as a leader? But then what he plans to do with that information is to figure out who his enemies are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the toxic shit. It wasn't like a sensing session. I would like your honest feedback. He's trying to figure it out.
So, 8th Indiana Battery, which is part of Haskell's unit. I think we're going to have to relocate this guy right here, which means he's going to be firing at half, and he's at -2, and I'll have to LOS him again just to make sure that this is correct.
And who are you going to shoot at?
Looks like that battery under Chalmers again, actually.
Okay.
It's -2. One for the woods, one for range. And he's firing at 3 factors.
Now, this is your third activation, correct?
It is, and I've put an extra fatigue with this brigade. The other 2 brigades are not activating again right now.
Okay. All right.
So, pretty sure that's nothing. 3. No, that's a D-3. So give me a D-3 for, I mean, you pretty much got to roll a 9, right? D-4 effectively, because, D-4 effectively.
So, all right. So I don't get, it's a D-4 for the artillery. He's fine.
So he's fine.
D-4 for the infantry.
He's fine. All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so the other 2 formations the other 2 brigades are not going to activate again. So I think it's my chit to draw. Yep. And we got another one, which is my march activation, which does nothing.
Okay.
Because I don't have anybody under march. So go ahead and draw one.
Flip. Claiborne, he marched. And then you can pull the last chit.
Which is McCowan.
And McCown marched.
All right. So in that case, we are done with the activation segment. So we go to the commander movement phase.
Right.
And
I'm getting my EMs ready.
Pretty much all good there. Replacement recovery phase, none of that applies. Combat effectiveness phase, none of that applies. We did get our first blood was drawn. That 10th Missouri looks like, or is that Mississippi?
It's got to be
MS
is Mississippi.
Okay, very good. So
you know why? Because MI is Michigan.
Okay, so what's Missouri? MO. Okay.
MO.
All right. So, and that's far from being combat ineffective. So combat ineffective status goes by brigade. You can apply to divisions too. If like a certain percentage, I think it's half of the units in that formation are. I'm blanking on the terminology. Have lost more than half their strength points.
Right.
So, all right. So, in that case, let's move on to the next. Well, actually, we're going to turn record phase. So let's advance to turn marker, and we're advancing to the 1400 turn. Now, there's a bunch of cavalry under Kennett coming in here, which I didn't pull. So where does that happen?
I just shared out that C-SPAN video in the chat. I think it's worth a watch.
It is worth a watch.
Both the professors that lectured, I thought, were really intelligent. I kind of fast forward through the national park stuff.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right. So, yeah, actually, that stuff does come in this turn. I somehow missed that. Let me see if I did this. I did it correctly, which means I'm not ahead on this turn. So, these guys will come in at A1401. So let me throw these guys down on the map. These guys are coming in at A1401.
I could have told you. Remember that I did that little map I have. You are indeed getting another division of Crittenden's wing corps.
1041. And then, are you aware of this?
What?
The variable reinforcements for 1400?
Yeah, but that's at 1400. It's 1300 right now.
We started, hold on.
It's 30-minute turns.
We started at 1200, 1100. Oh, I screwed something up. So see all these guys that came in that are on the road?
Yep.
Those guys come in this turn. So
All right.
don't attack any of them, and we'll leave them where they are.
Right. We're at 1,300 now. Right.
Yeah, that's correct. So at 1,300... Yeah, okay. Yep, that is correct. So that's it.
You're very crafty there, Rosecrans, trying to play with the clock.
I guess
Very
so.
nice.
All right.
Claiming daylight savings times for your reinforcements.
That's a good idea. All right, so we're going to roll initiative. You're going to get a +1 to the roll.
Alrighty then. All right, let me make that chat. Oh, you rolled a 7. I get a +1. I get an 8.
Okay, so you have initiative again. Now you can. Now we do the activation efficiency.
EMs. So I got my EMs ready. So I will bring them forward.
I'm going to put the stuff for Fry in the cup, but we'll ignore them.
I will bring them near the kepi.
Oof. Okay. All right. So.
You've done your efficiencies?
Yep. Let me pull the rest out. All right. It's all yours.
I will kepi up. Come here, my little OOB. All right. Polk. What do you look like today? Well, this half hour. Huh. Hardy, what do you look like this half hour? Huh. Smith, what do you look like this half? Well, Smith, you don't matter. Wheeler, what do you look like this half hour? Ah. Let's just say I feel very good about my efficiency. All right, guys, come on. Everybody out of the pool. Leonidas! All right, let me start figuring out my AMs. Alrighty then. What are the maximum AMs and the minimum you can possibly get?
One is the minimum, 4 is the maximum.
Okay.
You're all done with the kepi?
I am done with the kepi, sir.
All right.
All right, I am assembling.
All right, mine are in there already.
Right, and then we got to place orders, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Come here, O Kepi. O Kepi, my Kepi. So your March chit is visible. I think you didn't flip them.
I didn't. You're right.
And I need to pick something that comes first.
There we go.
I do need to do that. So let me do that real quick. Flip. Into the Kepi with ye all. Here's my special outside the Kepi.
Okay.
And we need to place orders.
Yep. I'm done.
All right. So orders. Orders.
Well, you're still going. You've got a lot more on the map than I do. I'm going to take a quick bio break. I'll be right back.
But I like that bio break. That's neat.
I have returned.
Okay, I have placed my order, sir.
Okay, in that case, do you have anybody else coming in? If so, you put orders on them as well?
Nobody else is coming in this turn.
Okay, very good. All right, and then reserve placement. Any reserves?
How does that work? I'm not going to do it, but I'm curious.
Well, let's go through it then. All right, so any command can be placed in reserve. So up brigade through corps. It's not an order, though. It's a separate status. They have to be out of line of sight of enemy units, and they have to be at least 5 hexes away from and 5 hexes away from enemy unit, and 10 hexes from. Wait a minute. Or 10 hexes away from enemy unit without a line of sight requirement. And if it's night, it's reduced to 5 hexes. During the replacement recovery phase, units from a command in reserve can do the following. They can reduce fatigue by 2 levels. They can flip all disordered units to their normal side. They can attempt to recover routed units, which we haven't even seen yet. They can change their orders, although I'm not convinced that's useful unless they're out of command. And they can attempt straggler recovery.
Okay, so what? So they can do all those things. What's the drawback? They can't attack.
They can't do anything. They ignore their drawn activation marker.
Got it. No activations, but they can do all sorts of stuff, and so it doesn't matter what orders they're under because they're like orders of material. Got it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I do not wish at this time to place anyone in reserve.
All right. So in that case, everything's in the kepi. Go ahead and play your first chit.
All right, I shall draw. Oh, my first chit.
Yeah, your picked chit.
We've got a Claiborne activation.
Okay.
Patrick Claiborne. And so we can activate as many brigades as we desire and do one thing. So
You do the brigades just so this is clear, and I think you're clear with it, but just for the benefit of the chat, you do the brigades one at a time, right?
right, yeah.
I'm actually John Longshore. I'm actually watching Callendale's playthrough of Stellar Horizons right now. Obviously, there's a lot of material to go through there, but his impressions of that seem to be pretty positive so far, actually. What he does do, which may be what you're talking about, is He does not hide his. He doesn't do any video. Obviously, any video editing, right? So, I do have stuff coming in this turn. I'm rolling an off-camera physical die.
Okay. I believe you only have a variable coming in. Or
It
you have,
is
like,
it is 1400 though.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's 13.
We started at 1200, not at 1000.
Correct. We started at 1200. They're half-hour turns. You got me?
They're hour turns.
I thought they were half-hour turns.
No. They are hour turns. Remember when I said in the warm-up game that they're hour turns, but you got me doing it now. They're hour turns, but they're kind of 15-minute turns because each potential impulse that a unit can activate on is 15 minutes, right? So there's an hour turn, but a formation can in principle activate up to 4 times.
Right.
So, all right, let's make sure this is correct. It is correct. Okay. All right. Cool. Orders are fine. Everything's fine. The cup's good. Oh, shit. I might have to put something else in the cup. It's okay. We're still on the first chit. You're still on the first chit. You go ahead and do your stuff, and I'll fix it on my side. All right, we're good. All right. This is fairly worrisome right here.
What?
All these guys of Cleburne's coming up from on that flank.
Oh, yes, and I'm also ready for you, McCook and Thomas, should you variably arrive, if you notice my dispositions on that little river. Your arrival will be very difficult, shall we say. See, no, they're blue. We're gonna keep them.
Thomas is not coming in. Well, Thomas personally is not coming in this turn.
But McCook may. And
McCook may.
I am ready for him. What's the stacking for? Oh yeah, it's never mind. I'm fine.
If you're in March, it's 7. If you're in something different, 7 infantry strength points, and then 1 battery or up to 6 factors of artillery.
Right. I figured
it is different for cavalry. I believe it's 9 points for cavalry, and then not in March mode, it's 15 strength points. In March mode, it's 7, and only 7.
Where shall McCown go? McCown shall declare his headquarters there. What is normal movement along a pike? Is it
just 1?
Just 1? All right. Yeah. Didn't matter.
Nope, doesn't make any difference unless you're in March.
No, it didn't. It didn't matter in my earlier moves, but here it kind of sort of does. In fact, let me get off that pike. Let me get off that bridge. guys all change your facing.
Yeah, that's typical. There's a YouTube delay with the stream. That's always been the case. It's about 5 seconds. I don't know that there's a setting I can do to fix that. At least not that I've seen. Let me put it that way.
The hell am I doing? What I'm doing is I'm fucking up. Did I say that out loud? I did. All these guys back here. And flip. I'll just no, they go to the crossroads. Okay. So I am done with Senor Claiborne. And it is over to you.
All right, I'll draw a chit. It is Breckenridge.
Breckenridge is under march orders. Everybody his, so we can go to the next. I shall draw a chit.
Yeah, I didn't even think to talk about brigade coordination. I'm not sure how often it's going to come up. I mean, I can certainly see how it could come up. So brigade coordination is basically you can make a roll and activate two brigades at the same time. But there's if you fail the roll, you might just waste the activation. Right. Certainly, we haven't seen any scenario in this game yet where that would be useful. I did see it in the Gettysburg game a couple of times where it would have been useful. I'm not sure anybody did it.
It is your march order.
I don't have anybody under march.
Okay. So, your draw.
It is McCowan.
McCown. Ha! Well, while assiduously moving Claiborne around, I actually moved McCown. So there you go. There's an activation. Didn't hurt anything. So go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Well,
fuck up.
It's can't really yell at you. So there's another Cleburne.
Another Claiborne. Well.
You could actually move Cleburne this time, though. That'd be cool.
So no, I did move Cleburne.
You did?
Yeah, I just kept going and moved McCown.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Right. So this is activation number 2, which is kind of like the maximum I want to do. So let's see here. We're gonna go 2, 4, 6. Two, 4, 6. 3, 5. 2, 4, 6. We're just kind of scooching our line along. That's what we're doing. This guy's going to go there.
Did we mean to be playing with random events?
Yes, we did.
And we need to, there's a chit for it then that we need to throw in.
Well, it feels okay that we didn't use it. It feels like we were like, hey, things are developing normally, and then they might get a little wacky. Claiborne is done. So right. I shall draw.
Okay.
It is Union. It is Fry.
Fry. All right. So. Zoom in a bit here. All right, we'll activate Walker first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. What does that cost? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to back that whole thing up and do it all again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six. All right, that's it for them.
You may draw.
That is McCowan.
Account. All right. We can.
Would this be 3 for him?
This will be 2. This will be his second activation.
But you said, oh, okay, okay.
Okay. So let's see here. Time for you to dress right, dress. Okay. Yeah, it feels dressed right, dressy enough. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good to me. And McCown is done.
All right, it's my draw, or it's your draw.
It is my draw. It's my draw. It is Claiborne again. Claiborne has already activated twice and does not wish to accrue any fatigue, so he shall stay put.
Okay.
And every bat brigade he has moved. So over to you.
Next is Davis. Davis comes in at me.
Here comes McCook.
Here comes McCook.
And McCook says, "Oh my God, there's a whole division there."
What the shit? Yeah, 1041.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what we can do here.
Poor McCook. You know, he's not really suited to this command in the first place. Now he's facing off McCown. My advice to you is to go north, McCook. I would go north.
You're gonna get shots at me everybody that enters.
Yep. I got artillery right there. But I don't know if I have line of sight to you. Oh, no, I am on the high ground. Right?
There's nothing that would be blocking line of sight.
Well, I'm on the green, right? And you're on the white. So what's higher?
Actually, the white's higher.
Right.
Oh, so I can make that move then. Okay, that does change this.
But wouldn't I just be shooting uphill or no? No, you're.
Well, let's look at that.
All right. Oh, I see what you're planning to do, like the crab crawl backwards.
Well, maybe. So that river cannot be crossed except at bridges and fords.
Correct. The rebels wave at you and say, you know, if you just go up to the Ashbury Lane up there, you won't have any problems.
Well, they could. I mean, they could just march up there. There's no question about that.
So we figured out I did not have line of sight, or I do. Has that been established?
That's a really good question. So, a hex may block line of sight due to its elevation and the type of slope hex side it has. Now, these are just regular slopes. These are not the steep slopes over here.
Right.
If you want to see the steep slopes, they're just south of here. You see them in the woods there?
Yes.
Okay. So
that's normal slope. Oh, and Alan reminds, I didn't.
Okay, yeah. So
guys.
if the firing and target hexes are on different levels, line of sight is blocked by any intervening hex or hex side higher than the average level between them and closer to the lower unit. So that hex is 3 hexes away from your 2 units. Okay, so the average would be, we'll call it you're at 0 and I'm at 1, so the average would be 0.5. So there's at least one level 1 hex between us. So line of sight is blocked.
Okay. Now, Alan.
That is 10.23 and 24.
I buy it. You know, we're good. What I will tell you is, remember, you lose a movement point for each stack that comes in.
That's essentially true, yes.
Yes.
So they'll come in this way. Rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Since we shan't be shooting or firing this a turn during this move of yours, I shall take advantage of the bathroom again.
All right, that's cool. I will have at least one shot, just so you know.
With who?
With that artillery. No, line of sight's blocked. So I guess I won't. Never mind.
You might just want to move them. I'll be back.
All right, that's all that's coming in. We do have 2 fires. So I'm looking at the range effects chart. I'm looking at the ranges 1, 2, and 3 for field artillery. And there's a note here that says, when firing artillery at these ranges, treat as if from small arms for result distribution. This doesn't apply to rockets. So I take that to mean that they roll on the small arms columns rather than on the artillery columns, presumably because they are firing canister shot at that range. Check our TEC here too. That's very interesting. I just noticed something on the table. Cedars are not blocking terrain where regular woods are. Presumably that's because of the lack of undergrowth.
I am back.
All right.
I had to feed the cat, or there would have been hell to pay.
All right, not a problem. So, what you see over here is what I could get on in this activation. However,
Gotcha.
there are 2 artillery shots. You see the unit in 1939, 25th Tennessee. He's on the same elevation as these guys. So
In
they're going to take
1930
shots. Yeah.
1939?
25th Tennessee.
1939? Or are you saying the hex wrong?
Pretty sure it's 1939. The hex number's kind of no, it's 1939.
Oh, my guy in 1939.
Yeah,
Okay.
you see this guy right here. Yes. All right, so we have 6. These will be halved, right? We have 6. what is this? These are 6-pound smoothbores. At
This guy I'm moving right now, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
So at 8 hexes, which is a -1. So the net on this is it's a 3 factors at -1. So 8 minus 1 is 7. So that's going to be a little d.
Here, and he's got a 6. Here we go.
He makes it. All right, we have another shot from the 8th Wisconsin Battery. I believe this is 7 hexes. It's at the same target. Yep,
okay.
Same target. 7 hexes, so there's actually no penalty. This is a straight-up shot, but it is halved. So it's 2 factors, straight-up roll. 8. That is a D plus 1. Makes it again.
Balls of steel.
All right, apparently so. Those Tennessee boys. That's my entire activation. I think it's your draw.
I think it is. Fry.
That is Fry. All right, so. Let's activate Steedman's unit first. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something I noticed while you were on the can. Cedars do not block line of sight.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, that's what I said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two. Well, let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks good. This guy. This is Parrot 10s. What's the range look like on Parrot 10s? It's my thought that he's probably too far back to be... No, not necessarily the case at all. I think these buildings don't block line of sight, I think. But they're not on the TEC. So I'm going to take this... I'm going to reach here and say that they do. So we'll advance the unit a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are going to take a... See the unit... you see the stack that contains Cleburne and Liddell?
Right.
That's the hex we're shooting at.
Okay.
It's range 13. They're in the woods for a -1. They're more than 8 infantry strength points for a +1. There is no range penalty for Parrot 10s at 10 or 11 hexes.
What strength are you shooting with?
It's halved, so it's 6. Or it's 6 halved to 3.
Okay.
9, though, which will be something. 9 is a D plus 2. Little D plus 2.
So we've got Claiborne and Liddell there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a total of -3. So on Pip. So This
So
is
net
a
minus 1.
right for that 1 unit. They made it.
Okay. All right. So that is Fry's activation. I believe it's my draw, right?
Yes.
We have random event. All right. So roll a d10.
There you go.
All right. You have rolled a 2, so no random events. So this just goes back in the pile for next turn.
Okay. I shall draw.
Joe Wheeler.
Joe Wheeler. All right.
Meanwhile, Minty's boys are having themselves a fine siesta out there. I've actually drawn I'll tell you, I've drawn garbage efficiency chits. For the unit cavalry both turns so far. It wasn't that good on the first turn. It just wasn't as bad.
Okay, that is it for a Wheeler activation.
All right. My draw?
It is... No, it's actually mine. Okay. Flip.
Palmer.
Palmer.
All right. Palmer's coming in up north. Let me verify that Palmer's coming in up north.
Yeah, all the left wing shows up at 1401.
Yeah, okay.
I think we should probably save it after this activation.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. It'll take me a little bit of time to get these guys organized. Now, the advantage here is that Palmer, unlike Davis, has not enormous units, so they can actually stack more efficiently. I keep wanting to hit shift instead of control on
Yeah.
for God knows why.
I feel the same way.
Because you notice the big difference here. I got the whole division coming in this time instead of with 6 movement points as opposed to
Marching. Yeah.
like half of it. Well, it probably would have been a good idea, but I had to make the call to whether these guys were coming in March mode or not. And I'm glad I didn't put them in March mode because potentially I had no way necessarily to know if you were going to advance to the other side of that river, which would have allowed you to take shots at me coming in. So I would have had to assault you, right? So I'm glad I didn't show up in March mode with my ass out.
Well, that was, it's funny when the little bit of strategy discussion that was occurring in the Facebook room.
Mm-hmm.
So you see what my plan was with all that marching.
I
wasn't planning to launch an attack. I just want to make your life difficult and grab terrain.
Yeah. And behind that river, so that is in game terms, that is a river, not a stream. So you can't cross it unless it's a ford or now the Stones River itself is at low right now until either it's tomorrow or we get the random event where it rains and
Right.
that increases the river level. At this case, right now, Stones River is treated as a creek, so it can be crossed for the cost of 1 movement point. But this little side, whatever this is, overall creek is not.
Right.
That doesn't apply to this, as far as I can tell. It probably
Right.
should, but it doesn't seem to.
No, it runs deeper. It makes perfect sense.
Okay.
And you can kind of see how, like, if you look at yeah. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to push it. I knew that you could come at 1400 earliest. So
yeah. I was lucky on that roll. So
right, I didn't want to take a risk of being in March order this turn. Right,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean. So I did what I wanted to do, which is I got Claiborne up to grab the defensive terrain and and meet up with Polk. Right.
Yes.
And then I have these guys facing you down and making your life difficult. And then on top of it, I'm going to have a whole other couple of divisions of Hardys that I can start to maneuver as a reserve.
Right. Now, don't forget, though, that there is cavalry that could potentially show up on C something. That's C 1019.
Right.
So bear that in mind.
Yes, but I'll take that risk. I feel very good. I feel very strong back there, and I think your cavalry would be very all alone. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah, unquestionably. All right, so we've been at it for actually 3 hours.
Right.
So that sounds actually correct.
So all right, so you're done with your activation. Let's just...
I am done with that activation. Yeah, let me just housekeep this.
Okay, I will save. Yeah, of course.
This is turn 3, so 1200, 1100, 1300. This is mid-turn 4.
No, remember, it's only our turns. This is 1400. This is game turn 3.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mid. Okay. Save.
All right, and in once you start getting large quantities of activation markers in the cup, we do find, and I don't know how many are left, but it looks substantial. And we've already had quite a few, actually. We've probably gone through half the pile already.
Right.
So, all right. So, I would like to thank everybody for joining us. I think our next scheduled... Well, let me put it this way. We have a Hot Dry Season tomorrow at 6 p.m., and then we will be streaming something at 7 p.m. on Friday. We have not determined what that thing will be yet. So, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, and we'll see you all next time.
See ya. Good night, everybody.